Let's get into my favourite part of the show, the SuperCoach segment, and a bit of a BBL preview. So we've got the Strikers taking on the Hurricanes tonight. Let's have a look at some SuperCoach picks. Leo, you want to start us off with the wily fast bowler I think you've picked?
Yeah, Henry Thornton. Get around him. 164,600. I'm a bit surprised he didn't start in this Strikers team. He came in for the last two fixtures against the Scorchers, and he's just a wicket taker. Important wickets in both those games, 1 for 20 off 3 and 2 for 31 off 4 in those games. He can be a little bit expensive with the ball, but what I like about him is that he's a wicket taker, and if he's doing it against the Scorchers, who are one of the best teams in the comp, then I'll back him in to do it against the Hurricanes. I think the Adelaide Oval surface will also be beneficial to him as well. So, yeah, he's hopefully he's not going to be in a thorn in my side for this SuperCoach team.
Jeez.
I'm not sure.
That was better than your joke, Marcus, I reckon.
Gerald, cut that out. No, I have to cut that out, Gerald.
We definitely have to keep that in. I think I'm back in Marcus's Green Lantern reference because Green Lantern was horrible, just like that joke. So let's go, Marcus. I reckon.
Oh, jeez, that guy. Oh, God. Yeah, I think you're right with Thornton there. I loved his confidence as well. Even in the last game, you could hear him on when they were talking to, was it Chris Lynn, was it, or Matt Short? It was one of the leading players that he was going to get a wicket. He was going to nick him off.
Yep.
I just love that confidence from a guy who was brought in, didn't start really this Big Bash season. So, yeah, I love that pick. But I'm looking at Chris Lynn here. He's completely transformed since he's moved to the Strikers last season. He's 211,500, so he's pretty expensive. But his last 3 games, he's got scores of 72, 118, and 132 in that order. So he's in red hot form with the bat. And at Adelaide Oval, especially on that short boundary square, I'll back him to get another big score here. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. Really like those picks, actually. Thornton's actually pretty cheap for a guy that's going to get a couple of wickets. And Lynn, you know what you're going to get from him this season. He was horrible last year, but he's definitely bounced back. I'm going to go the other Chris from the other team, the Hurricanes. Chris Jordan, the CJ with the big chain. He's trying to out-chain everyone with the Hurricanes, as I mentioned the other day. They've got a big group chat going around. His chain gets bigger every game. I don't know if it's real, or if it is real, then that's worth a lot of money. So keep your eye out for his big chain run as he runs into bowl. Had 102 points last game. It was a very last-minute pick for me to bring in when Matthew Wade was injured, and I got very lucky in my SuperCoach team that I picked him. He hasn't been as good as the past. He's getting a bit older now, but he just has these random games where he goes off, and I think this could be one of them with the Strikers who aren't in great form themselves. He's had multiple 3-fers this tournament. He had a 50. That was absolutely awesome. He's going to be their death bowler, and as I've mentioned before, SuperCoach picks with death bowlers are really good because they get so many wickets. People trying to slog at the end of the innings. So a bit of CJ. Watch his chain. He's going to celebrate. I usually kisses his chain when he gets a wicket, so watch for that. I think it's going to happen a couple of times tonight in the Strikers vs Hurricanes. One thing I'm going to quickly touch on as well is Alex Carey's back. That's a huge in for the Strikers. Do you want to go through his BBL averages, maybe, Leo, just so we can talk about him? And I think that is a huge in for the Strikers.
Yeah, well, you listed here that he averages 35 runs, which for T20s is remarkable. Obviously, he batted a bit up the order, but middle order as well. So he's a very flexible batsman. And I think he'll slot in nicely at number 4 for the Strikers. 129 strike rate, which is also very impressive. And he's awesome behind the stumps. He'll always pick up a stumping or an excellent catch here and there. And let's just say he's a massive upgrade on Nielsen, who they currently had in that team.
Strikers v Hurricanes, as we've been talking about. Who's going to win this one, Marcus?
The Adelaide Strikers, they'll get the job done at home, but I'm not sure. I think it might be a little bit too little too late for a finals campaign, even if they win both their games against the Hurricanes. But I'll still back them tonight.
Yeah, that's a big call, actually. Leo, you're leaning towards the same?
Yeah, I think you got to at home. Looks like they can get a run on from here. At least I think so. And I think the addition of Thornton shouldn't be underestimated. He's one that could spark a little bit in this team, similar to what Spencer Johnson did for the Heat last season. So I'm on the Strikers.
Yeah, I'm going to go Strikers as well. I think the Hurricanes relying way too much on Chowdhury, which was a guy that wasn't even in their team at the start of the season. Their batting lineup, I think Tim David hasn't even made 60 runs for the season. He's been absolutely horrible. I think unless he can stand up and a few other batsmen like McDermott, especially with Wade out as well, I can't back them to make a big score, whereas you got Lynn and both the shorts that are going really well for the Strikers. So I think they're going to put on a big score of 170, 180 plus, and then it would be lights out for the Hurricanes, I think, for their season.